Alright, how's everybody doing? Hey, I posted a walkthrough a minute ago, and what I forgot to talk about was these are like my preliminary notes. I haven't went back and looked at any notes from past tournaments, just working the notes that I have right now just off the videos. This hole right here, I'm using an extra mile and a marlin. And with this redesign, one thing I did notice is the first time I was here, I did hit it on the green, but then I hit it short a few times. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross off on my notes the marlin, and I'm going to circle my navigator, and I'm going to use a navigator on this just to give me a little more power. Even with the little extra power, I'm still not concerned about hitting it off the back, but I'm going to start off tomorrow in practice just going out with a navigator. So I'm going to use an extra mile and navigator. I'm going to have my blue ring halfway in the transition here. I'm going to adjust out the wind unless the wind is blowing in an absolute forward direction. So if we're getting pure tailwind, then I'm going to leave the wind in, but if it's going in any other direction, I'm going to take it out. So where I'm hitting out here is just right in front of the sand, so I have room in front between me and the chasm, and if I have forward moving wind, I'm going to just leave it in. On hole number 2, I'm going to bring, so my notes say Saturn, and I'm going to use a marlin ball during practice, but I think on the weekend round, if I can get a really good look at this hole, I'm probably going to bring a Santa ball, only because it'll cut the wind down. But I only have one account that has Santa balls in it, so in that account I'll probably bring a Santa ball only on the weekend round. But I'm going to bring a marlin every other round before and after. I usually use a marlin on that hole. This hole right here, with the new tree design, I haven't been here to see what I can do with a katana versus a kingmaker. So traditionally on this hole, I use an extra mile and a kingmaker trying to get in my hornet range, and my hornet numbers are 1.1, 1.9, 2.2. So I know where my hornet numbers are at, and I've got them written on my notes here. I also have my rapier numbers just in case. If you got all the way up to the front, just in case, I wrote my rapier numbers down as well. But that's pretty much it here. Extra mile. The only discussion is whether or not with the new corner design a katana gets you into the same range, but I'll probably end up bringing a kingmaker. Hole number 4. I'm definitely coming at this with a guardian, and I believe I'm going to use a katana, but I'm gonna have to work this hole right here for red line, because I'd like to be at minimum club. So I'll have to see where my minimum club is, and I'm trying to literally backspin it right onto the hole, right from here, and going right at the hole. I'm not messing around with those moguls. Hole number 5. I'm going to bring a big topper and a Titan and try and get out here as far as I can, and I'm going to bring now, your backbone's got more accuracy, so if you're looking for accurate clubs, then I'm all about the accuracy on the clubs, bring your backbone. I hit just as good for some reason with my Saturn. I have more confidence in my Saturn. I like it better. It's a better utility club, so I'm going to bring my Saturn just because I like the numbers better and I trust it more. And I'm going to use my Saturn to try and get my Albi, but my backup wood that's going to be in my bag is going to be a Guardian. So if I short shoot just a little teeny bit, there is a spot out here where you can do a full backspin shot with your Guardian and really go for it at minimum club. And that spot that you're at out here where you can do the long iron or the wood shot, you're right there at that transition. So you almost have 2 shots when you're in that spot. You're either going to be maximum long iron or you're at minimum wood. So my backup, that way I can give myself options. I'm going to bring a Guardian as my wood, a Saturn as my long iron. If you get into your short iron range, you got bigger problems than the fact that you got into your short iron range. So big topper, Titan. Hole number 6. QB all the way. More than likely, I will bring a kingmaker just to cut the wind down. Now, I will look at my inventory because you can get this done with a 2 power ball. I'll look at my inventory. If I have a low wind ball, and you can do this with a marlin. you can get up there with the marlin. So it's all about trying to get, there is a spot up there that you can get where you're in your minimum short iron range, and that's the real good spot to get into. So just practicing it with your clubs and seeing what you can do with different balls. Start off with a lower level ball. I'd start off with, start off with a marlin, see what distance you can get. Go out there, no overpower. Go out there with a 1 power, see what more distance you can get, and play it a few times. I'll start off with a low level ball and see what distance I can get, and then the next time through I'll pick the next ball up. But I'm more than likely going to use at least a katana just to make sure that I get to that distance that's up there. And since I'm using a quarterback for the accuracy to get through this gap, to make sure that I get through that gap, I may have to make up for that lack in distance by using a Kingmaker. And if that's the case, then that's the case. I'm definitely going to bring my Hornet, and the spot you're looking at out here is Hornet range. You can get up there right up against it where you're in your wedge range, but more than likely the spot that you're looking for is that minimum short iron. So know your short iron numbers. Number 7. Oh, I like this hole. Let's see if I picked a ball here. Now, I'm not sure why I have Quasar on here, because I only put on just a little teeny bit, so I'm thinking it's just a 1 power ball. I'll have to go back and watch the last tournament that this hole was in, and you can go back in my YouTube inventory, go to Golf Clash Notebook, and pull up this hole and see what tournaments it's been in. The most recent tournament, what is it here? What's the most recent one? The Gridiron tournament. If you go look in my inventory, go look in my playlist, there's all of the Gridiron stuff, and the last tournament, I really started dialing this hole in. Most people on this hole hit a little bit higher up in the hole, higher up in the chute, and it takes a super irregular bounce, and they have, you can have issues. It'll either pick up and it'll speed past, or it could end up going short, and then you end up rolling back down the hill. But when I moved my landing spot down so that there's a flat area, next time you're on this hole, really pay attention when you first get the look at it. Where this tongue's at, it's going up the hill, and there's like a little flat area right here. And I'm trying to hit right at the top of that flat area, right before it goes up into the movement of the hill. And so I'm getting a pretty consistent bounce down there. And you don't have to do a lot of adjustment on it in order for it to want to already just on its own go up the hill. So I'm going to definitely use my sniper, and I'm going to work with the ball on this. I'm going to go back and watch the other videos and see what ball I use there and make my ball decision based on that. Hole number 8. This is another one of those holes where it's either going to be, it's probably going to be an extra mile and a Titan. But if I find that I'm not having to use the wind at all, then I may use a Kingmaker. But you don't need the side spin here. You're not doing that much. So if I'm using the wind, I'll have to use a Titan. If I'm not using the wind and it's actually hampering me, I may use a Kingmaker. I'll have to make that decision when I get here. But this is more than likely a Titan hole. And you're either going to be on the green and make a putt, or you didn't make the shot. So choose your, if you're down here, I'm going to bring my normal suspects because they work really well in this territory. They work good from far, and they work great up close. So if I missed up close, a Nirvana and a Spitfire are going to work awesome. If I missed far away, we're going to work awesome. So bring whatever your most comfortable sand, wedge, and rough iron are. If you're down in this area, if you're coming over here and you've been hitting short, I would definitely want to bring a Houdini, and I would definitely want to bring a machete in my bag, because if you get caught in the sand out here, you're going to need something with some backspin in order to get you on. Alright, on this hole right here, I'm going to bring an extra mile, and I'm going to make the determination on the ball based on where I'm shooting. I'm going to try these layup shots. I'm going to shoot out here. I'm gonna see what my options are here on ball. So it's either going to be, I think you can make this with a Quasar, but I think if you don't want to have to do any overpower, you want to make it easy on yourself, you're going to have to bring at least a katana. but this will be a hole that I'll work on as the week goes on. But what I have right now is Extra Mile, and I have Katana or Titan, and a Guardian as my second club. All right, that's my notes going into the qualifying round, Monday's practice round, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.